There's that really famous picture at Leicester, Harry Kane on the bench next to Jamie Vardy, and you think of the careers that they have gone on to have. It's maybe Harry Kane wouldn't have been the player he is now if he hadn't gone out on loan and hadn't.
No, it's all part of the process. Ideally, you don't want to let them out. Ideally, you want them to be part of your first team squad, like Foden with Pep Guardiola. But sometimes the managers don't want them around. There's too many players, and that was the case at the time. You know, they wasn't ready. So to get them ready, you have to give them the best help, and the best help would have going out and playing competitive football. Every manager I loaned him out to, Harry Kane, who's a good example, said he wouldn't be a Premier League player. Every single manager.
Really?
Whether it's Russell Slade, Nigel Pearson, Chris Hughton, Kenny Jackett, every one of them said he never. They was all telling me what he couldn't do. And I just listen. It's their opinion. They're entitled to it. He's playing for their club. And I should tell Harry the feedback, and you know, I think it drove him more to prove people wrong.
Was there any fight back to select him when you did manage Tottenham, when you started playing Harry Kane? Were there any complaints from the high ups, because they're bigger names at this time? Harry Kane's
yeah. Straight away from the day I told him he was playing. I remember Franco Baldini was there at the time, sporting director. So he, after training, I've just told Harry that you're going to start tomorrow, and he looked at me as if to say, yeah, about time. You know, because I knew he wasn't going to be scared. I'd known the boy. You know, I know him more than his father as a footballer, because you see him every single day. You know what their mentality is like. You know how they work. So I knew he'd be fine with the occasion. It was obviously huge for him, because loved the club, been there a long time, waited for the opportunity, kept seeing strikers coming in, failing, then moving on. Another foreign, predominantly, strikers come to the club. So when I told him, word has obviously leaked back, so Franco Baldini calls me and says, Daniel wants to see you. So I walk straight up with Franco, and I say, hi Daniel. He said, what's the team tomorrow, Tim? So I waste my time really, because I'm not born yesterday. I know exactly what he's looking for. So I go, waste my time, Lloris, Walker, blah, 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 blah. And as soon as I mentioned Harry, he goes, not Robbie, not Soldado. I said, no, Harry. He said, well, you're going to devalue him. I said, well, I never thought about that. I just want to win the game. Do you not want to win the game? He said, yeah, but you know, he's 29 years of age. We paid 30 million for him. I said, I never thought about that. I said, I didn't think I had to. I just thought I had to pick the team who was best to win the game, and that's what I'm doing. That's exactly what I did. And I said, he's outperforming him every single day. Robbie's a great lad. He tries his best, you know, but it's not working for him. I've given him 3 opportunities ahead of the others, and Harry now has earned the right, so he's playing tomorrow. Okay, I'm not sure he's good enough.
Who said that?
Franco. So I said, how do you know he's not good enough? I said, I know the Premier League better than you. I know what it's like to be developed better than you. So I'm telling you, he will be good enough. He said, no, we should bring Morata in. I've worked with him at Real Madrid. Morata's different class to him, and I think you're biased towards the younger players.
Because of your history?
I said, I'm not biased towards the younger players. Do you think I want to pick a team to lose a football match tomorrow? He said, well, no. Well, I said, well, of course not. So I see what I see, and I believe that the boy, he's not a finished article. He's not had the experience to be the finished article, but I believe he can be. And I think with his mentality, we don't know how far he can go. And he's going to play tomorrow, and we're going to take it from there. And he said, well, we've got an opportunity to sell him to Leicester for 600 grand.
600?
So I said, you're not seriously considering, Daniel, are you, selling Harry Kane for 600,000? He said, well, you know, if he's not going to be in our first team. And I said, well, he is tomorrow, and then we'll go from there. And
then, what was it, 150 million from City, something like that? I think that's a little bit more than 600,000.
I mean, listen, he was very lucky, Harry, that when I left, that Pochettino was a manager who come in who admired his qualities. And wasn't just interested in signing the next big superstar. And obviously, with the amount of games that he played, just took him to another level, which is good. But it's all about your first step. Someone's got to put you on the stage. You know, you've got to have that opportunity. And in the end, these boys at all these academies, someone has to fight for them. if no one's fighting for them, no matter how good they are, they're never going to get in, because the manager, it's an easy for the manager and the youth team manager to say, no, we've not got the quality here. Or the manager to say, all the youth team are not good enough. How do you know? How do you know you can sing until you're on the stage and someone gives you the mic? Yeah. Have a go. Give them an opportunity and tell you can do that. But it takes a brave man to stand up to the first team manager and say, as I always did, I would always fight for them kids if I believed in them. Not because I just wanted to pat myself on the back by getting one through. It's about putting one through who's ready, and I know who's ready and who's not. So I just used to judge him on what we had in house. I look at him. I looked at Soldado against Harry Kane. That was all I had to do, you know. But they're not doing that because they're not looking down at the academy. But there was someone there right underneath their nose, and he scored 3 in 3. He went into the first team. He scored 3 goals in 3 games.
He's basically irreplaceable for Spurs.
He is now.
He is.
And England.
Now, for sure. Absolutely.
And England.
And England. He's the captain. And I'm just thinking, like, the Gareth Bale money when he was sold, they went out and bought all these players when they had a Harry Kane there in their system.
Yeah, he was young. I mean, he was obviously very, very, but
so it's Phil
still, yeah, it's still, it doesn't matter how young you are if you're good enough. But no, Villas-Boas had no interest in any of the kids, and certainly not Harry Kane. I sent him over there to train with him one day, and he said, don't send him over again. So
what was your take on him? Because for me, it looked like he had a chip in his shoulder over the Chelsea thing, and constantly being compared to Mourinho, being Portuguese, having worked for Mourinho.
Yeah, difficult for him, but it's, obviously being Portuguese, you get a good opportunity to develop as a manager in them lower leagues, uncompetitive leagues in Portugal. And obviously he's had a fantastic career. Really, really has. And listen, I know I've been on that side now. You have to respect it. It's a tough environment, being manager of Chelsea and Tottenham and all the clubs where he's been at. It's tough. There's a lot of pressure on. You have to do what you think's best for yourself. You can't worry about a Tim Sherwood who's trying to push you, these young kids.
Yeah.
But I meant well.
I'm just amazed by what he did with his life as well, away from football, even into, what was it? Long distance driving, whatever
Dakar.
it is. Dakar. It's like, wow. It's surreal when you think about it. Like, you're just completely off tangent and then wanting to get back into football. Wish him all the best, of course, but it gave you an opportunity once he was let go, and you snatched it with both hands. What was it like for you to be handed the reins at Tottenham?
I didn't want to do it, really. I mean, it was like, I said to Daniel Seal, can you till we find a replacement? I said, really? I said, Franco's the expert, let him do it. He knows everything about everything. I said, why don't you do it? He was sitting there, and obviously he didn't want to do it. I said, listen, I'll help out, I'll do it. I said, but I don't want to be an interim manager. I don't want to be titled an interim manager, because I know what it's like when we had an interim teacher at school. Yeah. People used to throw the rubber at the back of their heads when they're facing the blackboard. I said, I'm not having that. I said, so I want to be shown a little bit more respect. So this, let's call it an 18-month contract. That's what I did. Pochettino was always coming in. Yeah. You know, the deal was already done for him to come in, but obviously he was contracted by Southampton.
But you had some good results there. I mean, you lost the first game, which was a league game, and then your first, a cup game, and then your first league match you won, didn't you? And then that's it. Yeah,
I thought after the few months, I thought, right, this is easy.
This is easy.
This is easy. I mean, all you got to do is just point him in the right direction. You know what I mean? Play on the front foot. You know, we changed the style of how we played, and we won more than we lost.
Yeah, but you kind of knew that Pochettino was coming in, so you had to.
Yeah, but you just want to do well for yourself, and you know, just show that you can do the job. Different when you're standing there. You know, from the outside to actually being in it. You know, when I hear a lot of pundits now talking about managers, and until you stood there in that technical area and everyone's staring at the back of your head, yeah, do something. You know, you feel it, and it's not only the people in the stadium. It's when you're a club like Tottenham and Aston Villa, they're supported around the world by a huge support. So you feel responsible, and you absolutely are, and you have to react when things are not going well.